All right, y'all, today we are going to fish jigs. The only baits I brought, jig, Nico, and jig head minnow. That's it. Didn't bring anything else. I do think that we're gonna catch some fish today. We'll see how it goes, but all three of them are stuff that I need to get better at. So we're having a solo day today to do exactly that, because that's how you get better. Let's get after it. Also forgot to mention, today is also new water. I can only fish new water. I might have a couple exceptions for, those honey hole favor spots I like, but it's only new water today. So we're gonna learn new baits, new areas. Again, all in the effort of learning. So far it's not going great, but I think I know why. I got two different factors, and well, we're gonna try out which one it is. So basically, here's my theory. It's either sun or style of rock, because I know that there's a jig bite right now, and I'm not really seeing fish, but I've been fishing a lot of shade stuff. I just fished a point with sun on it. I actually saw fish. They're just too small, not for what is gonna bite a jig, basically. And then also saw a trout up shallow too. So I'm gonna fish a little bit more of this shade. The rock's a little bit different here in this little area, and then we're gonna switch to sun, but keep the same style bank and see what happens. One of the toughest things about fishing new areas is that I know right now there's a bite window somewhere, and I could be getting bit, but I need to stick it out in these other new areas because, well, I already know I can get bit there. So why spend time there and find new areas inside that same bite window? Okay, so finally got a bite. Ate the jig right. That's how we know we're at the right color, right bait, right? I already know this from fishing yesterday, but got bit. So let's get into why I think I got bit. So I've been fishing shade, and this has a different rock structure. It's actually chunkier. There's more stair steps. It's less muddy, less slopey. There's actual contours in the rocks and through there, and there's nice little ledges and stuff like that. Gives them somewhere to be, somewhere to tuck in and cuddle. So that's my theory. I was starting to think it was shade versus sun, but now that I found this style rock and I see fish swimming, and then I get bit. I think it's more rock, less shade. Might be a combination of sun and rock. We're gonna see. We're gonna move on down the bank. There's a shore fisherman going on, so we're gonna let them have it because, well, we can go somewhere else. It's hard for them to go somewhere else, so we'll let them have it. As you can see, we switched to the sun side, same style bank. Moving on. You ate it. Changed rock. See this different style rock that's right here? I changed rock and got scooped up. So I'm using a mid-sized rage bug, Strike King rage bug in watermelon red on this Bass Union jig. It's just an all brown, matte brown jig, ½ ounce. And what I'm doing is I'm taking the first 3 ribs that are on this, and I'm cutting the first 3 ribs off. Usually I do it with my line. So I'm just cutting off that little bit. And then threading it on, and if you're OCD, there's eyes on one side and eyes on the other, or not eyes on the other. I don't know if the eyes matter, but as far as I'm concerned, they wouldn't put eyes on one side if there wasn't some sort of difference. Could be just the eyes. Could be the way the tail's kicked or designed to work that way. Not sure. I just do it. So basically what's going on right now is there's a point that runs out here. On the back side of that point, there's fish stacked along the back side of that point. I'm getting bit, but they're like short striking it. They're popping it once, but they're not scooping it up. So I don't know exactly what I need to change. They're not 100% eating it right now. R2 can't make up its mind in life right now. They're not picking it up very long. So they're picking it up and then letting it down. They're not keeping it very long. I don't know what's going on, but R2's fine again. And right when I said it. Right when I said it is when R2 said, "Oh yeah, I forgot. I was acting up today. I forgot. I was being a little pain in the butt." Well, we're gonna see how far you're gonna go, R2. How big's your circle gonna go? I'll let him have it this time. Okay, so what I'm learning is I'm only getting a couple of bites at each spot. I would have caught 2 fish because I had at least 2 bites on this spot. I need to keep moving. If I stop and soak a spot, I don't get any extra bites. It's only the first cast that goes through an area. So I just need to juck and jive. So let's chuck and jive. Got something going here. They're gonna come up on it. They're at least reacting to it. I switched to the Z2 and I don't know, and that color. And they're at least coming up on it. They are hitting it. They're just not loading it all the way. I'm not sure if they're getting it all the way or what's going on, but since I switched to this color, they went from looking at it to actually shooting on it. I'm doing something wrong with this. I got the shake wrong. There you go. No comprende, señor. Missed one again. They gotta be small. They just gotta be small. They're just not eating it all the way. They gotta be small. Maybe if I switch over to like the Kitech jig. But I gotta run a different rod for that. That was how deep too. That bite was deep. They're just picking it up and setting it down. They're not really like eating it. I don't have many colors to change to. Moving on. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. It is hard not to stop at places that you know. Especially when you're grinding through. Picked it up, no thump, no nothing, just felt funky. Not giant, but here's the rock that we're in. I'm just dragging it through that rock and it just Just didn't feel right. Leaned into it. Sure enough, it was there. Did not slackline it or lay off of it, because they haven't been keeping a hold of it if I let go. Also in that one, I'm paralleling the bank in that rock. I've been noticing they're about 15-ish, plus or minus a little bit. So I'm just kind of shooting down that 15 and dragging down that 15. And it came when I almost got to that point. Not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of surprised that was a largemouth. Does kind of make sense to be a largie, but kind of figured I'd just kind of catch spots all day doing this. Good. Oh, got me slipping. Man, they are not coming back for it, are they? Man, he did come back for it. Smallmouth. Smart. Hooked in the roof of the mouth. Right where you want to hook them. Still using that Bass Union jig with that ridge bug. It's a smot, mean mouth. But trying to put something together here. Basically you can see this nice rock, chunk rock. Again, just casting out that 15-foot, dragging along that parallel on the bank, and that one thumped it. I actually thought I missed him, and he picked it up, started swimming at me. I can see him swimming around on this next point, out on the point, so I'm gonna try and stay back on him, parallel it. Hopefully I don't get stuck. Tell you what, rocks chew up some line. So out a little bit deeper, I threw that jighead minnow out there, and some good decent ones. came up on it, and let's get him back in. So I threw this out there along that same line where multiple just came up at that jighead minnow. And I was dragging it up, and I actually hopped it up over a rock. And when it hopped up over a rock, that's when it smacked it. Largemouth. So I think we can safely say, as far as limit fish, we found a new area. Caught 3 fish out of this area. Could be time of day, but the rock, I really like the rock. So nice little area for limit fish, and I think we're gonna leave this area alone and move on to a new one and try and see if I can find a new spot. Damn it! Twice now. Rip my legs down. Let that one dry out and I'll mend it later. Put that back in the cycle. So far we fished a lot of spots and only found one good one. Reeling in got big. One didn't feel big though. Oh, come on. Not in that time. That little guy. He's eating healthy. On that Z2. Not very big, but he's healthy. He's spitting up something. Spitting up like fries, like itty bitty fucking fries. I can't match that hat. Oh, it's a trout. Definitely a trout. That was floating super high. Oh, trout came off. I didn't think these were very big. A lot of the ones I've had chasing me are about this size. And I think I know why they're shying away from it or short striking it. So this is that Z2 again. I really need to look what color this is. But this is... Oh, come on, buddy. This is barely a kayak keeper. Let me get him back in. So, basically I'm throwing the Z2, but a lot of them are coming up and going back down. I've had some big ones come up on it, bigger. They're probably like 1.5 pounds or so. But like the average fish that's coming up is just like that fish, the 12-inch, so kayak keeper, but tournaments doesn't help. It probably weighs 0.8 pounds. Just kind of scoping around these rock points and doing that. I kind of figured out the jig bite enough. That's why I'm working on another technique. I just can't figure out how to get them to eat all the time. But this bait seems to be doing better. The bait color is actually the Morning Dawn color. It's just called Morning Dawn. I thought it was, but I didn't know. It seems to be working. So I'm gonna keep at it. Hopefully I can catch something bigger than 12 inches. Something bigger than a 12 incher. Decent spot. Enough that I don't want to boat flip him. Decent spot. That one's a little bit different. I just talked to the camera, cast it out, right? It's 1.5 pounds-ish, maybe 1/8 at best. Not bad, but I'll take it. I'd let it bounce down to the bottom, so I was bringing it up actually a little bit faster. So I'm gonna try and push on that faster theory and see what happens. Heck yeah. Ow, that was a solid one too. Damn it. I don't know what happened there, but that was a solid one. Golly, I don't know what happened. Scoop. I think he wanted it. I mean, he ain't big. Don't get me wrong. But I'm starting to figure out how to get him to eat. I'm starting to figure out how to make it work. I can only get one out of a school, though. Not good enough to figure out how to get more than one out of a school. But figure out how to get eaten. Okay. Burned up there. He didn't want his buddy to get it first. Buddy was on it. He did not want his buddy to get it first. He's hooked in the bottom jaw. He barrel rolled when he ate this thing. Okay, keeper. Smallmouth. Oh, no, still a smot. Mean mouth. Close. He had more smallmouth in him than previous ones, though. Getting the hooks in these things. They're not eating it all the way. I knew it was a trout. Oh, he came off again? Oh no, he just came at me. I knew he was a trout, but I still pulled on him. If Blind Squirrel Channel knew that I caught 3 today and threw them back, he'd be pissed. How pretty this one is. Look how pretty this one is. Hey, buddy. Look how pretty he is. Got one. Well, the trout seem to be, or whatever they are, seem to be setting up a certain way. So I could actually see that was a trout. Targeted it, and then boom. These trout are vicious on this thing. But it's actually like, not predictable, but they're easier to get to eat than bass. So, kind of cool. But, I mean, I'll catch whatever I can, right? Poor bait was getting beat up. I can't even cast it anymore. The trout killed it. That trout killed it. I can't even cast it anymore. Let's... Now that I know how to get bit, let's change colors and see what happens. Nope. This one might be a little bigger than the last one. No, he's not. Oh my goodness, I get to close my slam? I get to close my slam. I officially got a smallmouth. And buddy, I changed colors. So, experimental. I changed colors. Still a Z2. But this one is the deal. And I ended up picking up a smallmouth. I haven't caught one all day. They're smart, but not a smallmouth. Not big. But, still got bit. Thank you, buddy. So basically at this point, this is what my pattern is. I want rock, some sort of rock cropping on a point of some sort in that 15-20 foot range, and I'm just floating this over the top of it, and they're coming up and picking it up. Cool thing about that is the same pattern that I'm doing the jig at. So basically, not exactly, but they're pretty much interchangeable. That's where the schools are, or the fish are, I should say, because they're not major schools, just, you know, a couple here, a couple there. But you can get bit on multiple different things as long as you figure out the pattern of where they're sitting at. So I'm gonna get back at it now that I have the slam, and we don't have too much more time, and we're out of here for the day. So let's catch some more. Well, y'all, we're done for the day. Overall, it was a 2-rod day. Kind of accomplished my goal. The only thing I did not pick up was The old Neko rig, just kind of didn't have time for it. Took me a while to get that jig bite figured out. But then once I got that jig bite figured out, I was able to take the jig head minnow and use that same pattern, use the same pattern of fish to be able to learn how to get them to bite. So it's kind of cool to actually be able to consistently catch fish on both baits. I used to throw jigs years and years ago, kind of got off of it, trying to get back onto it. So overall, I would say today's pretty successful. Overall, the pattern of the day would be 15 to 20 foot rock on points, and chunk rock, not like little stuff. You want actual chunk rock. So that's pretty much the pattern, and nothing giant, maybe like a 2-pounder or something like that, but pretty good nonetheless. So so before I run into this tree, if you have any questions or comments, you can ask them down below, or you can always hit me up on Instagram. But until next time, I hope you get them.